Welcome to another aspect of my shop. Usually if you're watching a tested video and I am here, I'm using my table saw, which sits right behind me. Behind that is my material storage, all the rubber, wood, metal, and plastic that I might need on any given day. And above that, all of that is uncompleted projects. Things I haven't started, things I started and abandoned. Some of them have been there for years, but I like it all staring at me. So I built those racks specifically to put my uncompleted projects front and center. But what I wanted to talk about was this ladder rack of hand tools. This was a sort of a key part of my education and how I wanted my shop set up. So normally I would have all these tools, like most people do, in a toolbox, and I did. I had all of these tools on this rack in a 6-foot tall stack of Kennedy boxes, which are sort of the they're like a tool collector's toolbox. The Kennedy boxes are beautiful. They have a crackle finish. They're well made. And I was very proud to have 6 feet of them. But at a certain point, I realized I'm just looking through all these drawers for a pair of pliers. And I need them so frequently, I can't keep them in these drawers. And I realized that I have this fundamental aversion to drawers. I think that's where things go to die. So I got rid of those drawers. I got rid of that Kennedy stack. I gave it to my shop assistant at the time. And I built this ladder rack to house all of them in a single plane. What I mean is, every tool on this rack can be obtained without moving any of the other tools out of the way. This is what I do for the most mission critical of my tools in this space, and I call it first order retrievability. In addition to it exemplifying a design philosophy, it also houses some of my favorite tools. This is a surgical stapler that I use as a pair of pliers for getting inside something, grabbing it and pulling it all the way back out. Again, it no longer dispenses staples, but the titanium pliers out at its end are incredibly strong, and I can grab my fingernail so much I can't even, ow, ooh, I'm gonna have to snip that later. This was actually given to me by the wife of Neil Rodas Jamero, an amazing designer, worked on a million movies, including Return of the Jedi. I worked for Neil on Home Alone 3, and his wife was a nurse in a surgical theater, and she brought me some wonderful tools from her job. I also have this, an awl. If you don't have an awl in your collection, you really should. It's basically a spike with a handle on it. I have several different kinds of awls, but this one is special because this was owned by my grandfather. This is one of the 2 or 3 tools I have in this shop that I got from my grandfather's shop when he passed away. And I use this almost weekly, and I never don't think of my grandfather when I do. Yeah, I think that I've covered most of the highlights here. Seriously, this rack came about because I was watching myself, because I was watching my usage patterns, and I was paying attention to the efficiencies that I had and the efficiencies that I desired while working. And what I came up with, once I realized what I wanted out of this space, this grew out of that. And I'm pleased at the story of evolution that it tells and what I continue to learn from it. Thanks for coming to this part of the shop.